I've always been drawn to the abandoned and the forgotten. But nothing could have prepared me for the terror that awaited me within the crumbling walls of Blackwood Hospital. As I stepped through the entrance, a chill ran down my spine, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched by unseen eyes. As I made my way deeper into the decaying hospital, the air grew thick with the scent of rot and decay. I could hear the creaks and groans of the old building, the wooden floorboards beneath my feet echoing through the deserted corridors. I had been warned not to explore Blackwood, that it was a place of dark history and untold suffering. But I had to see it for myself. The hospital had been abandoned for decades. Left to rot after a series of mysterious incidents drove the staff and patients away. I had always been fascinated by the stories, the whispers of strange experiments and inhumane treatments that had taken place within these very walls. My flashlight cast eerie shadows on the walls as I moved from room to room, the beam of light dancing across rusted medical equipment and peeling paint. I stumbled upon a door hidden behind a tattered curtain. The sign on the door reading, "Drive Elliott's office," in faded letters. I pushed the door open, and a musty smell wafted out, carrying with it the scent of old books and stale air. The room was small, the desk at its center covered in dust and papers. I began to sift through the documents, my eyes scanning the yellowed pages for any sign of what had driven the hospital to abandon ship. The papers were mostly medical records, the names and diagnoses blurring together as I read. But one file in particular caught my eye. The name on the folder reading, "Patient 13 feet." I opened the file, and what I found made my blood run cold. The patient had been subjected to inhumane experiments, the details of which were too horrific to comprehend. But it was the final entry that made my heart skip a beat. The doctor's handwriting frantic and barely legible. "It's inside me," the entry read. "I can feel it moving, crawling beneath my skin. I've tried to cut it out, to burn it away, but it only grows stronger. I'm not sure how much longer I can hold on." I felt a creeping sense of dread as I read the words, the realization dawning on me that I was not alone in the hospital. I heard a faint scratching noise, the sound echoing through the corridors like a death knell. I tried to tell myself it was just the wind, or the old building settling, but deep down I knew it was something more. I knew that I had to get out of there, to escape the clutches of whatever evil had driven the hospital to madness. But as I turned to leave, I saw it, a figure, standing in the doorway, its eyes black as coal. The face was twisted, the skin gray and decaying. I tried to scream, but my voice was caught in my throat. The figure began to move towards me, its presence filling the room with an unspeakable horror. And then, everything went black. When I came to, I was lying on the floor, my head throbbing with pain. The figure was gone, but I knew that I had to get out of there, to never set foot in Blackwood Hospital again. As I stumbled through the corridors, the scratching noise growing fainter with each step, I realized that some secrets are better left unspoken. The darkness that lurked within those walls was not to be trifled with, and I was lucky to have escaped with my life. But the memory of that figure, of the terror that I felt in that moment, will haunt me forever.